What's up? What's up? Alright, just need to warm up my legs and get started. Today is Monday, and I want to talk about structure. So, recently I've been training without any real program or structure. Just been freeballing it, but now I have a better understanding of how my week will be playing out. And across the 7-day week, Sunday is gonna be a run. Monday, lifting, all strength. I'm gonna end it out with a light cardio. Tuesdays, I'm hoping to consistently spar with other competitors at the gym. Wednesday and Thursday are both conditioning days with my coach. Friday is another run day. So Sunday and Fridays, no less than 3 miles. I'm hoping to get that back up to where it used to be, which is no less than 5 miles, 8 miles when I feel good, and like 10, 11 miles when I feel really good. And Saturdays is sparring. So far, Sunday and Fridays, running. Monday, all strength training. Tuesdays and Saturdays, sparring and boxing. Wednesdays and Thursdays, conditioning day. Now, in terms of resting, the Sundays and Fridays, so Fridays are my busiest day when it comes down to training clients and teaching boxing classes. So Sundays and Fridays, I'm treating as an active rest day. Tuesdays and Saturdays, sparring is always good. Always takes a lot out of me. Whether it's hard sparring or light sparring. Because when it's light sparring, you should be thinking much more. And Wednesdays and Thursdays, conditioning with my coach. Now, working with my coach regardless it doesn't matter how you feel. It is tough. So I look forward to that. And that's how I hope my week plays out starting this week and going forward. I ran yesterday 3 miles. It was 8 minutes and 23-second pace across 3 miles. I'm happy with that because I haven't ran outside in a while. Last year I didn't compete last year, and since this is a new video, a lot of people don't know me. A lot of people don't know that I am a competitive amateur boxer. I love weightlifting. I love Olympic lifting. To be honest, I just love fitness. I've been working out for, how old am I? I am 29 years old. I've been working out since I was 12, like 6th, 7th grade. I've been playing sports since I was a child. It's just the type of life I grew up with, type of lifestyle I had. And I'm still active, and I feel good about it. But 6 is too long. No, this is perfect. So I'm looking forward to, from now going forward. I'm excited. A lot of things are coming up. I would have competed earlier this year. It's 2025. I wanted to compete in the New York Ringmasters tournament, but in sparring, I tore a ligament in my right hand back in November 2024, and it didn't start feeling better until a few weeks ago. So, how can I say, shaking off the rust in sparring. I sparred like 2 times in the past maybe like 5 weeks. So getting the sparring back to being consistent, getting conditioning to be as intense as it was before. And now I can hold heavier loads with my right hand. Maybe not for long, but before I wasn't able to push, I wasn't able to pull. I couldn't pick up my son. I couldn't sleep in certain ways, but that is in the past now, but it still lingers. The last time I sparred, well, not this Saturday, but the last time I sparred before the past Saturday, after sparring and talking with my coach, when he asked me how I felt about the sparring, all I could say was it felt like I felt hesitant. I felt like even if I wanted to throw a punch, there was like this invisible chain and lock on my hand, and it sucked. I felt I was happy with when I did get to throw it. I was happy with being able to spar again and getting the thumbs up to spar again. But one thing, and I'm sure anyone who's dealt with an injury or any athlete who's dealt with injury, the one thing that it's hard not to do is to compare who you were when you got injured or before you got injured to where you are now. Even though we know that we had months of like, how can I say, I don't want to say months of inactivity, because I wasn't just like staying still. I was still working out, I was still running, but months of not being able to do that specific thing that we love. So now, this past Saturday, I was able to do 5 rounds in a row. First 2 rounds, I'm not really gonna count. They're with a member of the gym that takes classes, and it was more like a warm up. And then the 3 following that were really good. So I did 5 rounds in a row. I took a break, and then I did 2 more rounds, and those felt really good. I was able to throw my hands more. So little by little, I can feel the chains. I can feel the chains loosening up on my hand, and I can't wait. I can't wait to get back in the ring. I haven't said it out loud, but in combat sports, age plays a big role, and everyone knows it. Even though there's many examples of people turning professional later in their life, but I haven't said it out loud. But I kind of want to like speed run these next 2 years of boxing so I can finally get some pro fights under my belt. You know, so much has happened since I started boxing. I've been competing for a while. Oh wait, let me keep this on. My very first fight was back in 2015, November, I believe. And then 2016 was when I was really consistent with boxing. 2016, 2017, I had a good amount of amateur fights. And then 2018, I fought. 2018? 2018 was my first national tournament, and I fought someone who right now is pro. A lot of the guys that I did fight, and I appreciate this so much. With like 20 fights, with like 20 amateur fights, some of the names that I fought who are pro now, they had a lot of amateur fights, and I was able to get a lot of experience early on. The only thing is I dealt with 4 injuries. One injury happened to my eye. We still don't know what happened, but now I have a pupil that's bigger than the other side. I had a brain scan. Nothing showed up, so we were happy about that. The eye doctor said that there was no trauma to the eye, so I was able to keep fighting. But that took a while. I had a torn ligament in my left wrist that happened during a fight, and I remember the punch, but I threw a hard left hook. It landed awkward, tore ligament. That injury took me out for like 8 months. Physically took me out. Mentally, it took me out for another couple months, because getting back in after an injury, getting the mind right is not easy. Everyone talks about the physical side of injuries, but the mental side of it plays something else on you. Another thing, after that injury that tore my ligament in my left wrist, I became a personal trainer. I fell back in love with weightlifting. I was studying how to work out properly. I was studying nutrition, studying running. I wanted to get my body strong. I wanted to get it strong so when I did come back to boxing, an injury wouldn't happen again. Now, what had happened was I fell in love with hypertrophy training first. I love the way I looked. I went from being 120 pounds to 145 pounds solid. And then I fell in love with powerlifting, strength training. I got my 1 rep maxes at 140 pounds. I was deadlifting 405 for 1 rep. That was my 1 rep max. My 1 rep max for squat was 335. And my 1 rep for bench was 235, right? My running, around that time, I believe I was running 1 mile in like 6 minutes and 11 seconds. My fastest mile ever, I was somewhere else mentally, but my fastest mile ever was 5 minutes and 16 seconds. But I can tell you right now that mentally I was not healthy, and it felt like I was running away from something. But when I cut down the running and just started lifting and stretching and getting my mobility better, the running came to like a 7:30 pace for like 3 to 5 miles. Sometimes I ran half marathon just for fun. Anyone who knew me around the times of like 2018 to 2020 will tell you that I am not lying. But I fell in love with personal training. I fell in love with strength training, and getting back into boxing. I felt like boxing was doing more damage than good. So the personal trainer side of me, and the person who learned about nutrition, the person who learned about keeping the body healthy, I didn't like the idea of breaking someone down. I didn't like the idea of having to cut weight in certain ways. So the love of boxing kind of like, it got replaced with this. I'm gonna say it. It got replaced with this softer version of me, someone who cared about other people. And I would have never thought that I would have got to this place of caring. And I still do when I spar. The way I spar now versus who I was at 125 pounds, at 120 pounds, two different people. I still feel that 120-pound person, the 120-pound fighter, there. Before, when I smelled blood, I would go for the kill. Now when I smell blood in sparring, I give the person room to breathe. At 120 pounds, my goal was to get someone to kneel, to touch the floor, right? To say that they didn't want to spar anymore. Now, if I see that someone looks like they're gonna quit, I step back. I start working on my defense, things to show them that like I'm not gonna hurt them. And one thing that constantly pops up, my coach says it all the time. Another coach of mine says it. They say it all the time. It's the same thing. I've been hearing it for months, and I've been trying to fully understand why. One thing that keeps popping up is that they say that I'm too nice. That I'm too nice. And when I compete, it's different, But I believe that they tell me that I'm too nice when I'm training, when I'm sparring, so that way it doesn't hinder me, that when I compete and I hurt someone, that the habit of holding back doesn't show up. I don't believe it has yet, but as I'm competing with people who are on my level, we'll see, Now that I get to spar again, now I get to train harder, we'll see, because I've definitely been working on a lot up top. I've been working a lot up top. I love psychology. I like to read psychology books, philosophy books, just to make sure that my thought process, that I'm not being consumed by my own thoughts or my own negative thoughts. But that sticks. Hearing that I'm too nice, it sticks. I bought this book by Dostoevsky. It's called The Idiot or The Fool. I started reading it, but then I started fasting, so I stopped reading that book and started reading the Quran. But that book is about someone who's too nice and gets used. So I a goal for 2025 is to finish the books that I bought, and it's a good amount of them. Well, what I do, I end up reading to a point where I absorb something and I put it down because I get stuck on this part of the book that I feel like it helps me become someone who I want to be. And then I move on to another book as if I finished that book. So I have like 3 or 4 books that I've read, like halfway, 3/4 of the way. Some books I'm like almost done with, but this is there. I'll get to them. That's my goal for 2025 is to finish the books that I did buy and to put them in my personal library. What's that, 185 for one so far. Right now for squats, I'm just trying to see my 1 rep max. Where my 1 rep max is. Right now I have 205 on the bar. My legs feel good. My back feels good. My shoulders, surprisingly, the last time I squatted, oh my God, the last time I squatted, I had like no mobility in my shoulders. I felt it. So I ended up going to front squats. But yeah, today it feels good. I can carry this load on my back. Pause. I wonder what time it is. I have a client coming in at 10, so I'm knocking this out the way. And do squats. After squats, I'm doing leg extensions. And then from leg extensions, I'm gonna do an RDL into a bent over row. I'm gonna put those 2 together. I'm gonna do that with the barbell. And then after that, I'm going to lat pull downs. I did lat pull downs earlier to warm up my back for this. But I'm gonna do the lat pull downs for like an RPE of 9. And then I wanna hit incline bench. Incline bench I'm gonna finish it out with that. And then from there, if I still have time, I wanna do a light jog. I wanna do a light jog and then stretch at the end. Oh. That felt good. Didn't feel like a 1 rep though. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take these off. Put the 45 back on. I had a gym membership for this gym near my apartment. But I froze that membership because the gym, and I'm gonna show the gym that I'm working out in now is my boxing gym. It's the gym that I train people at. It's the gym that I teach classes, group fitness classes. Last year, earlier last year, they expanded the gym. I'm gonna show you the weight room. It's nice, has everything you need if you know how to use it. You know, free weights. And the cables that they have are simple. If you know how to use free weights, you like using barbell, dumbbells, this is the type of place where you can get a full workout in, full body. You can have a push, pull, legs, split, you know. But if you know how to work out, this is more than enough. This is more than enough. So I froze my membership that I have in Brooklyn, back home, so I can use this space more and record myself working out. Because another goal of mine for 2025 is to post to YouTube, to post on TikTok more. I've been doing that more frequently. Post on Instagram here and there, but I wanna post, 20 to 30-minute videos, talking, having a conversation, and anyone who stays long enough to listen, I thank you. This video, this is gonna be the first one I post. It's gonna be more of an introduction to who I am, to what I do, to how I train, to why I train. Was it 225? I believe I can do 235. 235. I'm gonna go for 235. We'll see. We're gonna keep going up. The goal is to find my 1 rep max for squats. Why am I squatting so heavy? Why am I trying to find my 1 rep max? With my experience, I've learned that my body works well when I work with percentages. As a fighter, any fighter or any boxer can tell you that when they first get in the ring, their first sparring, their first fight, one of the first things to leave you is the strength in your legs. Oh my God. When I came back, so after my first injury, when I started working out, I started hitting legs hard, I started deadlifting, when I built the strength in my legs, my running felt different. My boxing felt different. The way I moved, the way I punched, everything was different because I had solid strength. I had solid balance on both legs. Doing back squats, front squats is one of my favorite squats. A squat press. We don't have that machine here, but squat press machine. It is different from a leg press. But the squat press, I feel like it focuses more on the quads. The squat press machine is one of my favorite. Hamstring curls, leg extensions, and step-ups. Weighted step-ups, any type of step-up, I love them. I do not like lunges, I can tell you that much. I do not like lunges. I don't like, what is that called? The Bulgarian split squats. I don't like those. Good mornings, Romanian deadlifts, I can do them. What is this, 235? Alright, it's 235. Alright, this should be my 1 rep the way that the 225 felt. But push. Come on, baby. Yup. My form broke. I definitely went low enough, but that was a struggle. That was a struggle. If I had a spotter, I would have went for 245, but I'm gonna cap it right there. I'm gonna cap it there. And going forward, when I do my 5x5s, when I do my 3x3s, it's gonna be off of me having a 1 rep max of 235. And considering, I want to mention this.